Do you ever feel unwell as you're starting on a ketogenic diet? Hi, I'm Dr. Lat Mansor from HVMN, and I'll be explaining how Keto Flu works and how best to cope with it. What is ketogenic diet in a nutshell? It's a diet that consists of 70 to 80% fat, 10 to 15% protein, and 5 to 10% or less from carbs. Due to the low intake of carbs, it forces your body to burn more fat and produces ketone from fat via the process called ketogenesis. And this puts you in the state of ketosis. Now onto the keto flu. Most people might experience keto flu within the first 7 days. Headaches, heart palpitations, cramps, fatigue, mood swings, brain fog, and sometimes nausea as well. So every individual's body to adapt to keto flu differs from one another. And some studies showed even after 14 days, your body would keep excreting water, potassium that causes dehydration and the loss of electrolytes. So these are probably the leading causes for why the keto flu happens. Let's look at some other causes of keto flu. There is metabolic shift from glucose to fatty acid, inefficiency in metabolizing fat for energy during the adaptation period, leaving you feeling lethargic, electrolyte and water loss, which we talked about, and also hormonal response to the shift in metabolism. Keep in mind that keto flu is the symptom that are caused by all these changes that is happening in your body as you go through the diet. So now let's just dig deep into the different causes that I just mentioned. First off, keto adaptation in terms of metabolism shifts. You will consume way less carbohydrate and therefore you will lose glycogen, which is made out of carbohydrate mainly. And as you lose glycogen, you lose a lot of water as well, because 1 gram of glycogen holds 3 grams of water. So you will lose a large amount of water as you go onto the ketogenic diet. As your body goes through a lot of water loss, you also lose a lot of electrolytes that comes with it. Potassium, sodium, magnesium. Now, if this loss of sodium is not replaced, the resulting deficit will sound off the alarm and tells the body to conserve this vital mineral. The kidney will reabsorb the sodium to reduce its excretion. Though effective at conserving sodium, this process comes at the price of increased potassium excretion. The lack of potassium will cause cramps. The sodium-potassium balance actually play an important role in the potential mitigation of risk for cardiac events, preservation of plasma volume, and muscle mass. In other words, you will go through all these different symptoms because of the lack of electrolytes in your body. The next point is hormonal balance or hormonal response when you're on a ketogenic diet. A standard Western diet or a standard diet will have quite a lot of carbohydrates, and therefore you will have a much higher level of insulin compared to a ketogenic diet person. Insulin is not just a hormone that is related to type 2 diabetes. It is actually a very powerful energy metabolism regulator in our bodies. It reacts to the intake of carbohydrates and glucose. And when we take carbohydrates, insulin will get released in order for the body to regulate its metabolism and make sure that our body does not hold on to excessive amount of sugar. While insulin is very important in our energy metabolism regulation, you don't want insulin to be at a very high level at all times. And with a normal diet with high carbohydrate intake, most of the time insulin is being elevated at a high level. And that may not be the ideal situation for your metabolic health. So when you switch to a ketogenic diet, you will experience a lower insulin spike and a higher fatty acid oxidation related hormones. So that switch will put your body in an adaptation period where you will go through symptoms such as keto flu. Now that we've covered the different causes of keto flu, let's dig deeper into how can you cope with it? What can you do to solve it? Or what can you do to feel better? First off, we have electrolyte supplementation. Salt up your food. Increasing the salt intake will help you replenish your electrolytes. Himalayan pink salt, it's a good example. It has sodium, but it also has a little bit of potassium and magnesium. You can also take supplements that has electrolytes or multivitamins as well. One of the example is sugar-free electrolyte drinks or isotonic drinks. Those are generally quite useful to replenish the minerals that has been lost in the body during keto flu. But just be mindful of the hidden sugars or the additives that are added into the drink to make sure that you will not be kicked out of ketosis. But of course, most importantly is drink enough water, because as we talked about earlier, we lose a lot of water as we decrease the carb intake. And that increase in water intake will help you deal with the dehydration that comes with it. Another potential solution could be exogenous ketones. For example, MCT oil. It's not per se an exogenous ketones, but it is a precursor that helps with ketogenesis. And it can enter the liver directly to be used for energy or broken down into ketones. So if you take MCT oil in either in powder form or oil form, it can help you meet your fat macros, but it also helps your body to produce more ketones so that your body can be more adapted to ketone metabolism. A very interesting fact is that a study actually showed that MCT decreases the symptoms of keto flu. Another point is that if you're really feeling unwell, you might want to take it easy on the exercise, because if your body is too fatigued, it might not be a good idea to push it beyond that point, because it may do more harm than good. It's okay to take a break. One common mistake that people make on ketogenic diet is being in a caloric deficit, because people are not used to eating so much fat, or they may even feel fuller faster because of the amount of fat that they eat. And this could lead to some of the symptoms of keto flu and feeling lethargic. And last but not least is to get enough sleep. Your body is already stressed enough adapting to your ketogenic diet, so the lack of sleep may actually increases cortisol, which is a stress hormone, and this increases the stress to your body and may exacerbate your keto flu. And that is not a good recipe. Hope you enjoyed this short video on keto flu. If you'd like me to talk about another topic or something that interests you more, please leave a comment down below, and hopefully see you next time.